Let's see when I see it on my feed.
Yes.
Probably live. I don't know. Not yet. Oh, it says
Uh,
streaming. Okay.
It says streaming live on Facebook.
There we are. All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Um, I am here with another one of the amazing authors that have said yes to sharing their story inside of Quiet and Badass. And we're going to learn and hear from Laura today a little bit about herself and then also what inspired her to join this project. So I'll let Laura introduce herself, tell us where she's from. She has a really fun background and her background is a little bit more intricate when we ask, where are you from, Laura? It's a little bit more intricate than most people. So go ahead and take it away. Let's hear it.
Thanks, Jenny. Well, it's so nice. It's so nice to be here, talking to you today. So yeah, it's an interesting question when people ask me where I'm from. you know, it's not a simple answer because I was born in Finland. When I was 5 months old, my family moved to Venezuela.
Hmm.
So I grew up in Venezuela, and in Venezuela, I went to international American schools. Then I studied university in Boston, then Miami, and now I live in Dublin, Ireland. So that's kind of like my life in a nutshell. So when people ask me where I'm from, it's like, do you have a world map?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I joke and I say that I'm, Finnish, Venezuelan, American, Irish, So, because I
Yeah.
have a little bit of like of all of those places, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you have a little bit of an accent depending on what you're talking about too. One of the very
Exactly.
first things I noticed, just when we were starting to get to know each other, I had seen an interview that you had done, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my goodness, that's so cool!" Because little old me, I just have this. This is my accent, and then to hear you just switch between those, it was like, I
Yeah.
need I need to learn about this person because she's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love, of course, with my background, I mean, I love languages. I speak five languages. I speak English, Spanish, Finnish, Italian, and French. But I mean, my French is conversational. But the other four, I do speak like for real.
And you actually coach people in those languages, right?
Yes, yeah, I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian.
It's
Yeah,
incredible. That's incredible.
yeah.
So tell us what do you do? What do you coach people? How do you help people?
How do I help people exactly? Well, I mean, I'm an international life and relationship coach. So, I mean, I basically coach people on anything that they want to be coached on, but a lot of people come to me about relationships, right? And one really big thing that I've done, I have a course called Breakthrough to Love, right? And
Mm,
that Breakthrough to Love course is all about working on the relationship that you have with yourself, because of course the relationship that you have with yourself is the most important one, right? Like that one reflects all the other relationships that you have in your life.
yeah.
So people come to me looking for relationships. Then I tell them, okay, well, the first relationship you have to work on is the one with yourself, right? Because everything begins and ends with you, always, always. The only person that you can control is yourself. You can't control anybody else, even if you want to, you can't. So everything starts and ends with you. So yeah, that's a very powerful course, and yeah, people come to me for relationships, a lot.
Mm.
But I mean, I've worked with other themes as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just so powerful too because a lot of times we want to force the issue of fixing what we feel is the problem, right? So
right.
we feel we have a problem with, people outside of ourselves, our partners or our family or friends, and we want to fix that problem, but a lot of times
Yeah,
that's not the root, right?
exactly. It always comes back to you, always, always. And the thing is that the only person that you can change and the only person that you can control is yourself, right? You can't change or control anybody else.
Mm.
So yeah, it always comes back to you, always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that. Um, it's so interesting, just kind of hearing how everybody helps each other, and one of the common themes is always what you just said is always us. So even though you help in the relationship industry and you know, that's how you can help people have better relationships. And
Yeah.
yesterday I spoke with Abby, right? And Abby helps people with their health and their wellness. And
Yes.
it just so much of what we do at our root is really rooted with us, right?
Yeah, yeah. And like one thing that I tell, people all the time, I tell my clients all the time, like be your own best friend, right? Because
Mm.
so many times people are beating themselves up over ridiculous things, right? So and then they wonder why things aren't working in their life, right? So if you sit there beating yourself up like with an imaginary bat, I mean that's the kind of energy that you're putting out, right? And the way that you talk to yourself and the way that you treat yourself, you're telling the world, like, treat me like this, talk to me like this, right? So you have to be your own best friend and you have to be your own cheerleader as well, right? And it sounds like such a basic thing, but it's not, because most people are incredibly harsh on themselves. So
Yes.
we have to give ourselves love and compassion, you
Yes.
know.
And especially from the perspective and the personality of an introvert,
Yes.
and someone that is, sensitive, and just seeing what else is out there, in terms of the ideal type of personality and the ideal type of way to be.
Right.
It's easy for us to really beat ourselves up that we are not like them, and that is seen as ideal. And
Right.
we're not ideal is kind of what we keep telling ourselves too, based off of that. And we
Yeah.
could beat ourselves up a lot about, not matching up to that ideal that society has for being
Yeah.
that outgoing, energetic, kind of always in somebody's face kind of person, and that we're, maybe a little bit more quiet or reserved or calculated, and we
Yeah,
beat
like
ourselves
the
up.
stories that you tell yourself are very important, right? Like the story
Yeah.
that you tell yourself. And the thing is that you always have to remember that it's a story, right? So you can always change the story, but those stories are incredibly powerful and incredibly important, because that's one of the first things that I do when a client comes to me to work on relationships. Like one of the first exercises is, okay, like write down the story that you're telling about yourself, about relationships, about men, about women, about all of that. So that reveals so much, right?
Mm.
And most of the time those stories are incredibly negative, and then the person wonders why they can't find a good relationship, right? It all comes down to the stories and to the, the thoughts, the beliefs, all of it, right? Yeah.
Mm.
And of course, once you have awareness of that, then you can change it, right? Because you can only change something that you're aware of. And once you're aware of something, you can't unaware yourself of
Yeah,
something.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you can't change something that you have no clue about.
Exactly. Exactly. So awareness is huge. Awareness is huge. You can only change something that you're aware of.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's where that's where coaching helps.
right. Right.
To bring that awareness to, to people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so speaking of stories, I mean that's an excellent segue. The
Yeah.
stories that we tell ourselves into the stories that we are sharing with the world, right?
Yes.
So, um, have you wanted to write a book for some time?
Yes. Yes. I've actually started writing 2 books. That's a really good question, Jenny. I actually started writing 2 books, but I'm so busy. I'm so busy that I haven't had time to like finish writing the books. And even in lockdown, my friends were like, "Yeah, those 2 books that you didn't finish them in lockdown." I was like, "No, I was too busy." Yeah.
Right.
So now I have one chapter. I mean, I can do one chapter.
Right. It's not such a big undertaking,
Yes.
writing this massive manuscript. It's just one
Yes.
chapter, get your feet wet, find out the
Exactly.
process, get that
Yes.
done, get that out into the world, right? And then you could build
Exactly.
from there.
Yeah, that's why it's so perfect.
Yeah.
When I read about your project, like it just called to me, because I know that one of the things that you were going to ask me was, why did I say yes to this? It
Yeah.
just felt right, like, like on every level, like it just felt so right. and my intuition is really good these days. You know, I even like I felt I won that painting in in the background, and when I saw it, I just knew I was going to win, and I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like all of like the most amazing synchronistic things are happening to me every day. There's just one synchronicity after another right now, which is amazing to be living like a moment like this, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean I've experienced other kinds of moments in my life as well. So it's one of those things that when you're in a flow like this, like you really appreciate it, and I'm so grateful for it, and I don't take it for granted at all, you know. So yeah, so when I read about your book, like it just called to me. I was like, oh my God, like I need to be in this book. Like this is so perfect.
Yeah.
So it just felt right, like on every level. It felt right on every level. And when I was filling out the application, I just knew you were gonna pick me. Like again, like the same way that
Just
I knew
knew.
that I was gonna win that painting. I just knew you were gonna pick me. And then the next day, and then the next day, you picked me. So I was
Yeah.
like, I knew it, I knew it. And I started jumping up and down. I remember I was in my kitchen. I was in my kitchen when I got your message. I was like, oh my God, So yeah.
That's so awesome. It's so awesome that your intuition just kind of is leading you in
Yes.
leading you to things and then leading you to the proper decision that feels aligned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It felt so right. It felt so right. And lately, like in the past month, like three huge opportunities have come to me. And they've literally come like, out of the blue, like it's like I'm in this space where I'm manifesting effortlessly. It's like just by being me, like I'm attracting like the most amazing things, and three big opportunities have come in, including the book.
Mm,
And imagine all of it like in 1 month. But of course, it took 15 years. It took 15 years of work and effort. So it
yeah.
didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight, but it's like I feel that I'm ready for this on all levels now.
Yeah. That's something that is hard for a lot of people to kind of grasp is that once you say yes to yourself, once you make this decision to go all in and to
Yes.
do these things that you've dreamed of and
Yes.
the things start to fall into place around you.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing like to be watching the process right now. To actually be seeing like this dream that I've had for 15 years. I've been talking about it for 15 years, and there's been so many twists and turns like along the journey in 15 years, like we all have, right? Like it's called life, right?
Right.
So many times it felt like it was so like far away. Like how am I ever gonna get there? And now it's all happening, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's actually happening. Like my dream is actually coming true, and it feels so amazing, and I'm ready for it. I'm
And
definitely
that's
ready for all
and
of
it's
it.
just the beginning.
It
You have
is.
to
I
write your
know it
chapter.
is. I know. I'm getting like cosmic goosebumps because yeah, it is just the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love you have such a great energy, that I could feel all the way from Dublin, you know? I just like I just
Imagine me in person. Imagine me in person.
I just
We have
wanna
to do
say,
something in person.
like,
I'll
"Laura,
come to the States. I'll come to the States,
let's go have a drink right now." Like,
No, seriously, I'll be right there. Seriously. You live in California. I love California, so yeah, I'll come
yeah.
I'll come down to California.
Yes. I love it. I love it. We talk the same language, we believe in the same things, and
Yes.
that's why, you're such a great fit for this book and for sharing your story on this kind of a platform, and I'm honored actually to have the universe led me to you to be a part of this. So,
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, I feel the same way, likewise, and talking about the energies. I remember that we spoke, like we left each other voice messages like that first day,
right?
and it's like we connected energetically. Like I could feel
Right.
that we were on the same, vibration, which
Yeah.
is really nice. Yeah.
Yes. So Laura, tell me if there's somebody, because I know there's always people that, I've talked to so many people, and some people are a good fit for this and they're letting it kind of sink in. To those people that are the good fit for this, or people
Yeah.
that think that they might be a good fit for this
Yeah.
and haven't reached out yet,
Yeah.
what would you say to them at this point?
Um, I would say, just go for it. Like like in life, you have to, take a risk. Take a risk, even if you're scared. Even if you're scared, feel the fear and do it anyway, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway, because once you take that first step, the hardest thing is taking that first step. Once you take that first step, it's like things just like start like flowing, right? And if it feels right, of course, like in my case, it felt right, like on every level, it felt right
Yeah.
on every level. And yeah, if it feels right, just go for it, and give yourself love and compassion, because I think that one thing that people are scared of is not being perfect, and especially in something like this, right? Oh my God,
Yes.
I'm gonna be in a book, like I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I can't write. You start saying like all these horrible
All the bad
self-sabotaging
things.
things, right?
Yeah.
So just like take the risk and go for it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Like it just needs to be authentic, right? And that's something that you've mentioned as well, right? This isn't about perfection, right? Like it's
Right.
like none of us are perfect, right? But it's about being authentic, and it's about sharing our stories to help people, right? Like to help people along the way and inspire them and motivate them, right? So yeah, so I would say just go for it. Just go for it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And when you take that, when you get out of your comfort zone, amazing things happen, right? Because the magic happens outside of your comfort zone, right? If you
Mhm.
keep on doing the same thing over and over again, nothing is going to change in your life. So you have to take a risk, and you have to get out of your comfort zone, and then the most amazing things can start happening.
Oh, I love that because so much of the good things are kept from us because of our fear.
Oh my God, yes, fear.
I love that
Yeah,
you said that. I love that you said that. Just feel that feel that fear and almost embrace it even. Just,
yeah.
okay,
Take
come
it
on,
by the hand. Take
come
it by
on
the hand
in.
and be like, let's go. you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Laura, thank you so much for spending some time with me today and showing
Thank
everybody
you.
in my Facebook world who you are and what you stand for. And we're going to be doing Q&As.
Yes.
That'll be the next time that, we're going to start inviting some people in, and then we can have
Yeah.
some conversations with people, ask you a little
Whoa.
bit more about what you do and stuff. So
Yeah.
everybody watch out for that. And if you think that you might be a good fit for this book, Quiet and Badass: Visionary Women Embracing Their Uniqueness to Create Epic Impact, go ahead and send me a message. So we're still looking for the right fits to be a part of this book, and I have an application for you. So send me a message and I'll send that over. And that's it. Have a good rest of your day. So, yeah, we'll see everybody soon. Thanks again, Laura.
Thanks. Thanks, Jenny.
Of course. Bye bye.